What's up, everybody? This is Eric Armstead, and welcome to another episode of Third and Long. I feel like I haven't been with you guys in a while. Did our last episode after our Thursday night game. It's been uh, about 10 days since then, but I'm glad to be back on. I'm glad to have another episode. We had a great game against the Arizona Cardinals, and we got the dub. We're 4-0, first time since 2019. And you guys know what happened that year. Um, Made a Super Bowl run, and there are only two undefeated teams left in the league. It's us, and of course, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are starting off hot again and having a tremendous year. And so, we played them later in the year, I believe December. I know a lot of people are going to be anticipating that matchup, but it's hard to win in the NFL. It's hard to win. You have to appreciate these wins. Uh, I've been a part of some not so good teams in the NFL, and I've been a part of some amazing teams in this league. And one thing that I definitely know is that it's tough to win. So any chance you get a win, you have to appreciate it, have gratitude for that. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of hard work. You got a whole team of guys battling out there on that field. We play against amazing competitors, guys who want to win just as bad as us and who are extremely talented too. So that leaves for good competition and good games. And this week was definitely one of those. But we're grateful to pull out a dub. I talked to the defense before the game, and my thing that I wanted to say to them is that each week is a new opportunity, and we're going to play a new team that's going to bring a whole host of challenges, and it's an opportunity to go out there and get better. Go out there and figure out how they're trying to attack us, and find out a way to get a win. And I think as you continue, to go through these games, with your brothers, it brings you closer and closer. Man, you find out ways to win. You find out how to play for one another, and you really see, really what it takes to win. And down the stretch, that's when it's going to help us the most. We are 4-0, first time since 2019. Man, it feels good. It was a big emphasis for us, especially this off season. We wanted to get off to a great start. We feel like we haven't done that in the past. And, the middle of the season, end of the season, we were scratching and crawling, trying to fight for a playoff position and win the division and all these different things. So it was definitely key for us to get off to a good start. And we're definitely doing that. 4-0 is amazing. Hasn't been, it's been a few years since we started off this good. Um, and, one thing I definitely have learned throughout my 9 years in the NFL is how tough it is to win. Um, each game is tough. Nothing is guaranteed in this league. You have to show up each week with the mindset and go out there and play as hard as you can. And you're playing against tremendous competitors as well too. Talented teams, guys who are good at football and want to win just as bad as you. And it boils down to execution, the efforts you play with. And so it's tough to win the NFL, and we definitely don't take it for granted. That's definitely something I've learned. I've been on a team that was 2-14. I've been on, teams who I think we were 3-13. So, I know both sides of it. And, anytime you can get a win, it's definitely, you can't take that for granted. And there's a lot to be learned, from the game. And one thing I said to the defense before this game was, what an amazing opportunity we have. Each week is going to bring a new challenge, new offense coming into town, and they're going to try to expose us and expose our defense. And these games, we know our end goal. We know where we want to be later in the year, but these are the games where you have to fight through, figure out a way to win, figure out a way to get off the field, figure out a way to get stops. and teams are throwing their best shots at you, these are where you find out who you are as a defense and find out who you are as a team. And these are the games where you gel closer, you figure out how to win, you figure out how to get stops. And these are the type of games that are going to help you in the long run. And definitely, Arizona brought a lot of challenges to us. Um, today. And I think that if you look at the team, their record really doesn't reflect, how good of a team they are. They could have easily been 3-0 before this game. They had some close, hard fought games against some good teams, and they beat the Cowboys last week. And so we definitely weren't sleeping on them. And it's a division game, extremely important. Um, but, I think it was a good game. Um, so if we start with the offensive side of the ball, man, offense has been balling. Fourth straight game with 30 plus points. That's tremendous. Brock Purdy, 20 for 21 passing. Talk about efficiency. Brock Purdy, we all know how efficient he is, but 20 for 21 is crazy. And I can't remember the last time someone has done that, and he could have easily been 21 for 21. Uh, so he was decisive. He was getting the ball into our playmakers' hands. And speaking of our playmakers, Christian McCaffrey, what another amazing performance coming off of NFC Offensive Player of the Month, and he follows up with another amazing performance. 106 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, 4 touchdowns. He's going crazy. Um, he's Christian's a game changer, man. Uh, the thing I noticed the most about him, like when I'm watching him from the sideline or I'm watching him practice, is how sweet his feet are. His cuts are amazing. Um, and he had a crazy play today, uh, which everyone saw. It's probably going to be all over SportsCenter, where he hurdled a guy. We were in an orb motion, got him the ball on the flat, and we got it blocked up good. All he had to be was one person. Guy went low, hurdle right over him, in stride, didn't didn't break his stride, and all the way for a touchdown. And Christian is a rare, special player. We've played against him. I've been playing against him throughout my career, and having him on my team and being able to see it up close and personal. What he brings on the daily is pretty special. Kyle has so many offensive weapons, and he uses Christian and gets. I feel like he gets the best out of Christian, and you guys are seeing that in our games. And he's just been dominant, man. I don't think there's another running back in the league that really can compete with Christian right now. I think he's the best in the league, and he's showing that week in and week out. Brandon Aiyuk came back and had a tremendous game as well too. 6 catches, 148 yards. A lot of big plays too, which is pretty rare for our offense at times. Our offense goes on extended drives, control the game, run the ball, pass the ball. Today we had a lot of chunk plays, which is really cool to see. Some big gains, some big plays. That definitely get the fans out of their seats. Aiyuk was the receiver on a number of those. He had a huge catch, a 42-yarder. And man, Aiyuk is special. Um, you know, Aiyuk was relatively, uh, I really didn't hear about Aiyuk, in college. Um, and, it was a bit of a shock when, we drafted him in the first round. Obviously, they identified him and his skill set, and they knew he could become the player that he is today. But, he was a little under the radar coming in, and his career has continued. He's gotten better every year. He's coming into his own, his confidence, his mindset, run game, pass game. Man, you can't cover this guy. And we see it every day, and he's going out there and dominating. And he's having a tremendous year. And to come off an injury and have this type of big performance, especially after sitting out last week, it was tremendous, and we needed it. And BA had a huge day. Going to the defensive side of the ball, I think we dominated majority of the game, but there was some slippage in a few parts of the game, which kept them in the game. We went up 21-3 at one point in the game, and that's an opportunity for us to really take off, really make it the type of game that we want it to be. We talked about it throughout the week. If this team could keep it close, like they have been doing to teams their first 3 weeks, it's gonna be a dogfight. It's a division game. Much respect to them. They have a new coaching staff, new organization, and obviously they're setting a different type of standard over there. So, much respect to them. They are a hard fought playing team, and who we have a lot of respect for, and we definitely weren't sleeping on them. Um, and like I said, I think we dominated the majority of the game, but there was definitely some some parts of the game where we have to be better, especially right before the half, allowing them to go down and get that score. That was a very important part of the game. We were up 21-3, and if we're able to get that stop going into the half, we're getting the ball back on offense. And, it could easily be a 28-3 game, which, could easily become a blowout. And we're putting the game in the type of situation that we want it to be in, making them, forcing them to drop back pass and play a game that they don't want to play. Obviously, their game plan was to run the ball, quick game, misdirection, play action pass, and Josh Dobbs wanted to use his legs when he didn't have something open. And the middle part of the game that I'm talking about, right before the half and in the third quarter, I think they played some great football, uh, mixing in the run game, mixing in the play action, and Josh Dobbs using his legs in the quick game. They were able to keep the game third and manageable, not third and long, where we want to be. It was 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. They would get a 6-yard run, 5-yard pass, and then, maybe Dobbs would mix in using his legs. And so they were definitely executing their game plan. And, really what it boiled down to was getting them in a situation that made them uncomfortable. And we really didn't do that for that part of the game. They were able to stay on schedule, make it third and manageable, and that extended drives. One play I wanted to talk about was the 4th and 7 play, which I think was a very key play in this game. We have been dominating all the way up until that point, and they went for it on 4th and 7. And Dobbs scrambled for a first down, which extended the drive. And, they were able to get their first points on the board, which led to a field goal. And defensively, it can get frustrating at times because you can be dominating a team, but one lapse, one miscue, one, uncovered gap, one mistake, can extend a drive and which can lead to points. And that completely flips the momentum. The offense feels like, oh yeah, we can get something done. And so on that 4th and 7 scramble, we had a miscommunication, which led to him scrambling up the middle, and that's on us up front, which we will clean up. But that led to them getting 3 points and them having some confidence. Up until that point, majority of the whole first half, um, we were dominating. They weren't getting anything, and so those plays, you never know what play it's going to be throughout a game. That's why you have to play each play like it's that play that is going to win or lose you a game. And that was one situation where we have to be better, and we will be. And then right before the half too, that drives, that mm, that didn't sit right with us. We went on the field and we knew what opportunity we had was get off the field, get the ball back to our offense at half, and we can lap them and get a big lead. And that drive, them scoring, like I said, they kept a third and manageable. They hit us on a big play. Um, which led to a touchdown. And then they hit us on a big play, which led to a touchdown. Now we're going into the half. It's 10-21, and that allowed them to to stick to their script. And then the third quarter, they went on a 99-yard drive, which didn't sit right with any of us. But it was a similar game plan. It was run the ball, very manageable. They ran a play action rollout, pass back, um, which was a big gainer, and then same stuff. Quick game, run the ball. So my hats, go off to them. I think Josh Dobbs played a very good game. We have a lot of respect for them as a team. Um, they played hard and, they brought us a challenge. But just like any challenge, you have to accept it. This is the NFL. Um, each game is an opportunity to get better for our ultimate goal. And when it came down to it, we got the job done. Um, in that fourth quarter, we did get him in the third and long. And my boy Javon got a huge sack, knocked him out of field goal position. And that kind of sealed the game. So this this was a great game. I feel like to learn from for us as a defense, especially. Um, we have to figure out a way to, when people want to quick game us, run the ball, we have to figure out a way to be sticky in coverage. We have to figure out a way to, stop their run, and especially majority of the NFL has athletic mobile quarterbacks now. And, we have to have a game plan for that as well, too. And when the guy doesn't see something open, he just wants to take off and scramble, we have to have a game plan for that as well, too. So last go off to them, we knew what type of game it would be. We knew what it would boil down to. Um, and in the end, we got the dub. We figured out a way to win, and we got better throughout the process. And that's all you can ask for. The game, personally, for me, my focus this week was to keep things simple. Um, and going into the game, I want to have three focuses. And those focuses are playing with great effort, playing physical, and when I have a one-on-one in the pass game, they're going to leave me one-on-one, winning my one-on-one. Those are the three things that I want to accomplish when I go into the game. And I think I did that. Um, I played with effort, played physical in the run game, and when I did have my ops in the pass game, I showed up. So, um, there can be a lot. You can put a lot on yourself going into a game. Like, oh man, I gotta. We all have goals. I have goals. Statistically that I want to reach as well too. Um, but I kept it simple this week. Those were my focuses, was to play with great effort, play physical, and win my one-on-ones. And I think I did that throughout the game. Um, like I said, I'm hard on myself. Always want to continue to get better. And as the season goes on, continue to be an impact player, help my team win games, make big plays. Those are always the things on my mind. So as I'm studying and I'm, you know, studying and preparing for a game, that's always what's on my mind is, how can I be as impactful on this game and help us get wins. And that's my main focus each week. And I'll continue to have that focus. Looking ahead to our next week matchup, we got a big one. Sunday night football versus Dallas Cowboys. Anytime we play against the Cowboys, there's going to be a lot of eyes on. Um, they're America's team, and the Niner faithful run deep throughout the world. So we both have huge fan bases, and there's been a rivalry, obviously, for the Niners and the Cowboys, dating back a long time ago. A lot of playoff battles, a lot of NFC championship battles, and a lot of great teams, a lot of great 49ers, a lot of Hall of Fame players on both sides. um, which has led us to today. We played them 2 times in the playoffs these past 2 years, which were both great games. Which we were able to get a win, but it's going to be a lot of eyes on Sunday Night Football. Wouldn't have it any other way. Playing in prime time, big time games. That's when big time players got to show up and show out. So I'm really excited. They have a great team, talent across the board, and we have a great team. And so, any opportunity you get to play against another great team on Sunday Night Football with all the eyes on you, um, it's going to be a lot of fun. They have a good offensive line. I'm really excited to get another opportunity to go against them. Some players that I definitely respect and are great players. Um, and I love playing against great competition. Uh, their right guard, Zach Martin, is a perennial Pro Bowler, probably a Hall of Famer. And, I love playing against him. I feel like he brings the best out of me. I got to bring my A game, and I always do. And so we're gonna have a great battle. It's gonna be a lot of fun in prime time, under the lights, everybody watching. Yeah, I can't wait for it. I promise you guys I'll be teaching you about the game, and I'm really excited about our new segment, Self Scout. I think last week was an amazing opportunity for me to break down some film with you guys. So let's get into it again. So the first play I want to break down is play 18. We got 2nd and 20 on their 42. And really, what I want to break down is my rush against their right guard. Um, I had a good game plan against this guy that I wanted to execute. And one move that I definitely would have been upset if I didn't leave this game without trying was my jab long arm. I have a jab. I like to break down my rushes as series. So there are multiple series of moves I can do off of a long arm. There's a multiple series of moves I can do off jabs. There's multiple series of moves I can do off of what I call 2-to-1s. So that's going in with power with 2 hands instead of one, and then extending to one hand. So right here, I definitely wanted to work my long arm series. I felt like 76, exposes his chest a lot. And I feel like I had the length advantage, so I definitely wanted to work my long arm. So right here, I go with a move, what I call a jab, jab to a long arm, or jab stab. And I'm getting off the ball. I'm jabbing my inside foot. The purpose of that jab inside is to create an imbalance in the offensive alignment. And so when they jab, when I jab, I'm going to create a little imbalance in their inside leg by making them threaten them with the inside move. And then I want to, once I get them off balance, I want to go into power. And right here, I jabbed, boom, shot my long arm, got it in his chest, and I was able to get his hips turned. I felt like my jab really, put him in a unbalanced position, and from that point on, I have the advantage, and I'm able to get in, walk him. Um, I really wish I could turn some of these into some sacks, but yeah, it's been a little rough. Ball out has been quick, but here's a situation where that could have easily been a sack, but um, it wasn't, and that's how stuff goes sometimes. Um, but after games, one thing that I do when I'm watching film is like, all right, did I execute, the game plan that I had or set out throughout the week? Early in the week, I go through my game plan of how I want to rush a guy, what moves I want to do on him. And after the game, I never want to watch and be like, man, you didn't do none of the stuff, none of the moves you worked on. You had this whole game plan and then you just aborted the mission. I feel like if I come up with a game plan and I use my skill set, I'm going to have success. And so I'm always proud of myself when I go out there and I execute the things I worked on throughout the week and the things that I wanted to get accomplished in the game. And I definitely wanted to establish my long arm series. And right here on, you know, one of my opportunities on a one-on-one pass rush against a guy, I executed and was able to get the QB hit. The next play I want to break down, you guys might not have noticed, might not have been a big deal, but I'm going to show you how big of a play this was. 2nd and 6 on the 29. The Cardinals come out in 13 personnel. 13 personnel means 1 running back and 3 tight ends. That's something else I want to teach you guys about personnel. So how you count it out is the first number is the number of backs. So running backs, fullbacks. The second number is the number of tight ends. So 11 personnel is 1 running back, 1 tight end. 12 personnel is 1 running back, 2 tight ends. 21 personnel, two backs. So running back, fullback, tight end. That's 21 personnel. So personnel is very important because whatever personnel the offense comes out in, you have to match that personnel for your defense. So if an offense comes out in 21 personnel, um, you know, the defense has an opportunity then to what personnel do you want to be in? Do you want to be in base? Do you want to be in nickel? You want to be in dime? All these different packages. So that is very key. Personnel is very important um, to what's going on out there. You never want to be in a um, disadvantage personnel wise, meaning like you never want to be uh, if they're in you never want to be in a disadvantage personnel wise. So if they come out in zero, they come out and spread 5 wide receivers, you wouldn't want to be in goal line essentially. So that's how it's counted out though. First number is the number of backs in the game, and the second number is the number of tight ends. So they came out in 13 personnel, which is a heavy set. Um, different teams have different things they like to do out of personnels. So 13 personnel, I'm thinking run, play action pass, things of that nature. So right here, like I said, this might not have seemed like a very important play, but when I show you guys on this film how important it was, you guys will be able to see. So come out 13 personnel. They have 2 tight ends to our left, tight end to our right. Um, they pull their guard, pokes fake, play action. So they're faking the run. And what they're running right here is a tight end screen, which we call Y screen. Y is the tight end letter in the formation. So what we call this play is Y screen. And right here, what they're trying to do is sell run, get Drake to go up the field. Then they're trying to sell play action pass, like he's blocking them. And they're trying to slingshot him by to get him up the field and get out on this screen. So when I go to the wide copy, it's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 6, boom, incomplete pass. No big deal, right? But when I go to the wide copy, and you can see how this center and this tackle got out, and we only have one defender over there, and there's a bunch of green grass. That's why this play was so important. This could have easily been a huge gash against us. But Drake does a great job of doing his job, gets off, he fills the screen, stops, retraces, gets his hands up, and forced the incompletion. You can see if you would have caught that, you never know what could happen. So it's little plays like this where a D lineman doesn't get a stat per se, but he kept a lot of yards off of the scoreboard and he kept points off the scoreboard because you never know what could happen if they would have, got this big play. So these are the type of plays that we get often, though. We have a attacking, aggressive front. They want to get our defensive ends up the field and screen us to slow us down, and so this was a huge play um, for us. And Drake is fired up in it, and he should be fired up about it because it's a huge play that will go unnoticed to the naked eye, but I'm breaking it down right now to show you guys how important he was in this play and how it could have been a huge game for them. Next play, I want to break down, I feel like was the biggest play of the game in the most crucial moment. Um, the score is the score is 16-28 with 10 minutes left. And if we don't get off the field in this situation, it could easily be a one-score game, and who knows what happens at the end of the game. And after this play, we pretty much controlled the game, got the ball back to our offense, and they went down, took 7 minutes off the clock, and the game was pretty much over. So that's why I feel like this was the play of the game and the biggest play um, of our defense, that led to us getting a win. And so let's break it down. Right here, we are in our Dallas front, which is double mug. Dre and Fred are walked up over the center, which brings a lot of challenges for offenses because they don't know if Dre and Fred are blitzing or are they dropping back in the coverage. It looks like a pressure, but it could be just a non-pressure four-man rush. So um, they have to game plan and prepare for this. So we went to this in a very important situation. Um, they checked, they audible, so we audible. And right here, um, first what I want to show is the back end. And we talk about rush and coverage being tied together, right? So we talk about coverage being tight with a great pass rush, how deadly that can be for offense. And right here was an amazing example of that. So as I go to the wide copy, in rhythm, there's nothing open. Um, the guys in the back did a great job in their zone coverage and nothing open. And when there's nothing open in rhythm, the first thing you want to do is then go to the the tight copy and look at, you know, how how well did we rush? And when there's nothing open, you can see, go to this angle. Hargrave did an amazing job of a power rush, getting off, nothing open in timing. Dobbs right there, put him down on the ground. This was a very important situation because this was one of the, few times that we got them in a third and long. And these were the situations that we wanted them to be in, throughout the game. At times we did an amazing job, and other times we didn't. They kept it third and short. And we knew if we were able to get them in third and long, we felt like we had the advantage. And so late in the game, we finally were able to get them in the third and 10. Coverage is tight. The pass rush is there. Hargrave did an amazing job with his power rush, slipping off, getting a sack. and we get the ball back to our offense. It takes 7 minutes off the clock, and the game is over. That's why I said this is probably the most important play of the game, and it's in a crucial situation where we needed it the most. We finally got them where we wanted them, was in a 3rd and long situation, and we were able to get off the field and get it done, um, and win the game. Thank you for watching another episode of 3rd and Long. I want to say that I appreciate you. I appreciate all my viewers. These episodes are really therapeutic for me because I'm able to clear out all my thoughts about the game. Um, I'm able to watch the film and go through it and digest it and break it down. And it's really therapeutic for me. I'm the type of person that um, I dwell over the game at least for like a whole 48 hours after watching the film over and over, seeing how I could have been better, seeing what happened. But, these episodes for me are really, really therapeutic where I'm able to talk about the game I love, um, share my knowledge of the game with you guys, and hopefully you're learning throughout the process as well. So I have fun shooting these episodes and I hope you enjoy watching them. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.